Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'd like to review a new cartridge that I just have recently got, the 270 Winchester Short Magnum. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do much with it, but I do like it. And I know it's not as popular as it once was. I know the 6.8 Western is more popular now. And I will talk about that comparison in this video and how it also stacks up to other cartridges and kind of explain why I chose in 2021, a few months ago, to buy this particular cartridge. So stay tuned. So right at the beginning of the 21st century, Winchester and Browning came out with their line of short magnums. Of course, there was the 300 short magnum, the 270 short magnum, the 7mm short magnum, and then last, the 325 short magnum. Now, currently Winchester doesn't even chamber the 7mm short mag anymore. Last I knew, Browning did, but that was the last manufacturer that I knew of. It's kind of on its way out. And now with the 6.8 Western on the scene, I kind of feel like the 270 short mag is probably on its way out too. I think the 300 short mag is a very popular round and will continue on. But you might ask the question, you just bought a rifle and a new cartridge came out, the 6.8 Western. It's very similar, so why would you not pick it? And in case you don't know, the 6.8 Western is the 270 short mag case, just slightly shorter, the shoulder just slightly down, a little bit less case capacity. And the whole point behind it was they changed their design on the chamber, and it was meant to have a high ballistic coefficient heavyweight bullet. And so they paired that with a faster twist rate barrel, like a 1 in 8.5, because all 270, whether it's the old 270 Winchester, the Weatherby, or the short mag, they've always had a 1 in 10 twist rate. So this new 6.8 Western has a 1 in 8.5, so it's going to be fast enough to shoot the new, 165 grain, 175 grain bullets, which, as you know, are higher ballistic coefficiency. So they're going to buck the wind better at long range, and they're going to be easier to shoot at long range for target shooters and all that. So I think the 6.8 Western is pretty cool. And then, of course, the 6.8 Western, in order to stay in a short action length case, they had to shrink that WSM down just a little bit. So there is a definite benefit in the 6.8 Western over the 270 short mag. And that's if you want to shoot, say, 165 grain or 175 grain bullets, then yeah, you have an advantage. It's literally not possible to stabilize that heavy of a bullet with the 270 short mag. But if you're going to shoot a 150 grain bullet or lighter, there's a definite advantage with the 270 short mag versus the 6.8 Western because that case capacity is slightly bigger. A little bit more powder, a little bit faster. So if you only had one rifle and only one rifle cartridge and you wanted to hunt everything and you really liked the 270 caliber, okay, then I would have no issues with you picking the 6.8 Western to give you that versatility. So you could have the heavier weight bullets and the lighter weight bullets at the same time. You are giving up a little bit of velocity compared to the 270 short mag, but that's really not a big deal. Very similar, like the 7 SAUM gives up a little bit of case capacity to the 7 short mag. So it's not a big deal. In fact, I'm a fan of the 6.8 Western, but I'm a big fan of the 270 short mag too. The way I look at it is I have more than one rifle. I don't need one rifle to be that versatile. And if I do want to shoot 165 grain bullet or even heavier, up to 220 grain bullet, I have my 30-06. And there's, a lot of other chamberings, a lot of other cartridges that are, I think, more suited for that. In fact, if you were to get a 280 actually improved, 7 mag, even a 7mm odd 8, any of those are, in my opinion, better suited for those heavier bullets. So I don't really see the need of having a 27 caliber cartridge that can go that heavy. But like I said, if you only want one and you want it to be versatile, that could be a good option. But I honestly think a 150 grain bullet out of a 270 short mag is ideal. And I'll show you some ballistics here in a minute But I just really think that, man, that is a heck of a round. It's a very efficient cartridge. It's a very strong cartridge. It is semi-spec with a pressure rating of 65,000. It's a strong cartridge. It's an efficient cartridge. Once again, fits in that short action, which is going to save you a little bit of space, you know, not much, maybe a half an inch or so. You don't really need anything more than a 24-inch barrel, so you don't need like a 7 mag or a 300 Weatherby. Those type of calibers generally take a 26-inch barrel. You don't have to have them, but they really get they have so much more room for powder in the case that if you're wanting to burn all that powder, you probably do need a little bit longer barrel. But I think a 24-inch barrel just is perfect for a short mag case. So, you got a little bit shorter action. You have, if compared to the 26, a little bit shorter, barrel and 24-inch. So I don't plan on using my 270 short mag to hunt moose or something big on that scale, okay? I've got a 30-06 for that. I could get something else like a 338 Win Mag if I wanted to. Maybe a 300 Weatherby would be great for that. But I'm thinking like mule deer, antelope, whitetail deer, possibly elk, and on down from that. It'd be good for African Plains game. And I honestly just can't see anything wrong with that 150 grain bullet out of that 270 short mag. I think it's just ideal. I made a video earlier today about inherent accuracy. Is that really a thing? It seems like everyone who owns 270 short mags always say they're inherently accurate. So that 150 grain bullet just seems ideal. I plan on loading 145 grain Hornady ELDX, 150 grain Burgers VLD, probably 150 grain AccuBond, and then I'd like to get 130 grain Barnes TT-SX. I think with those rounds right there, I'm really gonna enjoy the rifle. I'm gonna enjoy it as a cartridge, and I'm looking forward to it. You might ask, why not just get a 270? So I think a 270 is ideal for the type of game I mentioned, between like 200 and 400 yards. Closer than that, the flat shooting, high velocity round of a 270 really doesn't matter. You might want something more like a 308 or a 30-06 that has more energy. But between like 200 and 400 yards, maybe even 200 and 500 yards, it's a really nice hunting round. So why not just stick with the 270? Why go with the 270 short mag? Well, in my opinion, if you already think it's wheelhouse, the benefit of it, where it really performs the best, is long range hunting. Once again, that's between 200 and 500 yards. Anything beyond that, I would say, is not ethical. If that's what you want to do, flat shooting, fast shooting, then just beef it up. I mean, you're getting that, but more in the 270 short mag, So like if I'm comparing a 270 to a 30-06, the 30-06 has the advantage of higher energy, bigger bullet, more versatile, heavier bullets, larger frontal area on the bullet. But the 270's advantage is it's flatter shooting, it's faster. So if that's what I'm already going for, just why not beef it up even more? So that's where I think the 270 short mag is awesome. To me, it's just like a 270 on steroids. It takes all the good in the standard 270 and amplifies it. And who doesn't want that? So then that might beg the question, well, if that's what you're going for, why not go to the 27 Nosler? Just keep moving up. Well, I'm going to show you some ballistics here to kind of explain why I don't think I really need to go beyond the 270 short mag. All right, so here's a good comparison of the cases. That, of course, is the 270 short mag right next to a 30-06 case. That 30-06 case, of course, is very similar to the 270 case, so that's a good comparison between the two right there. Just for kicks and giggles, we've got a 243 and a 6.5 284. That will kind of tell you the height differences and the width differences. of these, of course, the 270 short mag does have the biggest case capacity. You'll also notice that the 270 short mag, like the 6.5 284, has a 35-degree shoulder angle. The old 30-06 has a 17-degree shoulder angle, and I believe the 243 has a 20-degree shoulder angle. One last thing, you'll notice that the head diameter of the 6.5 284, the 30-06, and the 243 are all the same, 0.473, but the 270 short mag has a larger head diameter. Okay, so I've got a little makeshift chart here, and I put a few calibers up here. First of all, our 270 short mag and our 270 Winchester, and the 270 Weatherby, and the 27 Nosler, just to kind of compare. And I've got a few more just for fun, but let's stick with the 27 caliber. Now, I got all this information from the Nosler reloading manual and also a ballistics calculator. The test rifle for every caliber was different, for every cartridge. So for instance, the Weatherby and the Nosler here was with a 26-inch barrel, and the 270 and the 270 short mag was with a 24-inch barrel. So I adjusted the velocity over here to account for that. You might disagree with what I did, but every inch I took off 25 feet per second. And so these are all based on a 24-inch barrel. So as you can see, the 270 holds 62.8 grains of water compared to 71.8 grains of water in the short mag. The Weatherby holds 79.4 and the Nosler 91.5. All using a 150 grain AccuBond with this, of course, the same BC. Now this recoil is based off of Backfire's recoil on their website. And I just basically averaged out the velocity and the energy and just come up with this number. So as you see, 14.6 on the 270, 17, which is a notable jump up on the short mag, all the way up to 18.3 on the Weatherby, and then 19.6 on the Nosler. Now, feet per second. Now this is the category you're going to have the most variables in. Every hand loader is going to get something a little bit different. This is just an estimate. It's an approximation. It's getting pretty close to the max feet per second that you're going to get out of it. I'm sure you could get more, but this is just close. So let's say 2,900 out of the 270, 3,150 out of the short mag, about the same out of the Weatherby, and 3,350 out of the Nosler, which is quite a bit more, Now, if you're saying, wait a second, shouldn't that Weatherby be a little bit more than the WSM? Possibly. Once again, I'm only going by the Nosler reloading manual and adjusting the barrel length because it was originally 26 inch and I brought it down to 24. So in energy for the 270, that would be 2,800, 3,300, and notice we'll jump up in the short mag. If, all things are the same, the energy is going to be the same in the Weatherby. And the Nosler's energy is 3738. So I do have a drop chart here, or not a chart, but some numbers here. The 270 at 500 yards is going to drop about 48 inches. The 270 short mag about 40 inches. Of course, the same with the Weatherby. And then about 34 inches for the Nosler. Now, the big takeaway here, obviously the Nosler I knew would be by far the flattest, the fastest, have the most energy. But look at that case capacity and look at that recoil. So if you want to have the biggest, baddest, then yeah, the Nosler is the way to go. The thing that surprised me the most was how much more powder that the Weatherby uses, how much more recoil it has, and then it pretty much has the same performance. Let me repeat, this might not be accurate. You might have a Weatherby and you might get a significant amount more velocity out of it than what I'm saying. This is just going off Nosler's information. So to me, that if these numbers are even close to accurate, the 270 short mag is by far a more efficient case than the Weatherby. And it, of course, beats the 270 in every way possible, except for one. Well, except for two. It uses more powder, and it has more recoil. So if you think the 270 is just all that you need, then of course there would be no point to step up to the 270 short mag. But if, like me, you think the whole point of the 270 is that it's awesome between like 200 and 400 yards, and it's fast and flat, then why not be faster and flatter? So I think it's a definite step up. Okay, back to the chart one more time just to show you a couple things, notable things. 270 short mag, case capacity 71.8 for H2O compared to 79.4 with the Weatherby. Recoil 17 with the WSM, 18.3 with the Weatherby, yet they come out about the same velocity, energy, trajectory, everything. Something I did not expect. A couple more things here. This is the 270 versus the 270 WSM. Look at the energy difference. 500 foot-pounds of energy more from the WSM. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but that's what the numbers tell me. But there is a little bit of a recoil bump, but there's 9 inches of drop difference there. So the 270 short mag, 500 more foot-pounds of energy, 9 less inches of drop at the expense of a little bit of recoil. Also down here, the 7 rim mag, 78 grains of powder. So it's right there with the Weatherby. So just look. Yes, the 7 mag has more energy and a little bit more velocity. So you're getting a very small increase in energy and velocity, but it takes a definite amount more powder to get that. And of course, you're having to use a long action. And so there are some disadvantages. So all in all, the 270 short mag is a pretty neat little round. So hopefully this has been interesting to you. Just to close it out here, I just want to say if you have a 270, I'd love to know what you think about it, what your experience has been, especially if you've been hunting with it. Because this is not a long-range target gun. This is a hunting rifle. This is a hunting cartridge. I would love to know your experience, what you've hunted with it, and how it went, and what kind of bullets that you were using. I'm a big fan of the 270 short mag. It's my personal favorite 27 caliber cartridge. I'd like to know what your favorite 27 caliber cartridge is. Do you prefer the Weatherby, the Nosler, the new 6.8 Western, or just the standard 270? I'd love to know what you think. And until next time, take care.